What is going on YouTube? My name is Bankrupt. Thank you for tuning in. And today we got another matchup. It is Sabine Green taking on Chewbacca Blue, Red. Like always, just buttons down below. Feel free to click them there for a reason. But we're going to kind of get into it. It's actually been a bit since we've seen Sabine. So as a reminder, Sabine on the undeployed side is an action. You deal 1 damage to each base, which is pretty good. You know, it does hurt yourself, but it gets damage out there when you don't have a unit to attack with. On the deployed side, on attack, you deal 1 damage to each enemy base. She's a 2/5, so you're doing roughly 3 damage to a base with her, which is kind of nice. Chewbacca, on the undeployed side, as an action, you can play a unit that costs 3 or less from your hand, and it gains Sentinel for the phase. And then on the deployed side, it is a 2/9 with Grit and Sentinel, which is pretty nice, but it does take 7 resources to play Chewbacca. So starting with the Chewbacca turn, looks like we had a mistake, almost putting the wrong card on the board, but we have R2-D2 in the board. R2-D2 is great for just kind of seeing what you're going to draw into. If you don't like it, just bottom deck it. Alliance X-Wing on the Sabine side, which is a nice little space unit, which is 2/3. And also both bases are being played is Sabine's using ECL, Energy Conversion Lab, and the Chewbacca is using Tarkin Town. Going into the next phase, we're sitting at 3 resources apiece. And the Chewbacca player does have the initiative. We've got a couple of space options from what we see in their hand. But we're gonna start with a swing of R2-D2. Not liking the card and putting it at the bottom deck. Paying 3 resources for a Fleet Lieutenant, which gives the +2 to the attacking unit, which is kind of nice. I think, attacking Rebel unit. And getting the Alliance X-Wing to do 4 damage. Restore Arc hitting the board. And I think that's going to be a claim on Sabine's side, unless they want to proc their leader's ability. Yeah, okay, there's the claim right there. And then pass on Chewbacca's side. Going to the regroup phase, we are setting up for the next round, which will both be at 4 resources apiece, and the total damage to both bases is 2 and 5. And keep in mind, we do have right around the corner set 2 coming out, so let me know what you guys are interested in the comments down below for next set. I do plan on doing an overall video talking about the leaders. I'm super excited for next set as well. Alright, so Sabine has the start here, and Sabine can be deployed this phase as well, which is really cool. Granted, like I said, she's a 2/5, so kind of on the weaker side when it comes to overall health. But still, the idea you putting her out this early is kind of nice. Using ECL to play Bright Hope with this one. Very nice. Bright Hope is a Sentinel, and when play, you may return a friendly non-leader ground unit to its owner's hand. If you do, draw a card. We're going to see that they're going to bounce that card back to their hand. The Fleet Lieutenant. Getting 2 damage onto Historic Arc. Using Chewbacca's players using their action to use Chewbacca themselves to play a unit with Sentinel, and it's an X-Wing hitting the board. And so we're going to put those 2 experience tokens. Let's see where they go. Actually, I don't remember if Restore Arc is a rebel or not, but I think we can put it onto R2-D2. Yeah, there we go. And we're just making sure the damage counters were where they should be, so there's no accidents happening here or there. The Alliance X-Wing swinging into the X-Wing. Like, it's kind of, I think, just what the setup was. They just don't want to take any additional damage into either Restore Arc or even into their base. R2-D2 swings with 3 damage into ECL. Or into the base. We're using... Oh, maybe not. Oh, yes. Go back over the audio. They got confused a second and thought of Open Fire, which is 4 damage. So I think they're just debating on what the correct route would be here. And it possibly looks like we're going to do a single Restore Arc, which will take Restore Arc out. But that does give 1 heal to the base. The Sabine players already took the initiative here. One open resource is not a lot they could do. They could go ahead and proc the base if they want to. Or possibly, I think, a force throw being an option if that's something they want to do as well. Yeah, so we are procking the Tarkin Town to just deal 3 damage to it and get it out of the way. And that looks like it's it's a pass going into the regroup phase for the next phase. The regroup part into the next phase. There we go. So we got 5 resources down on each side. Sabine does have first action here. And it looks like we're paying 4 resources for a general Dodonna, which is really great because it gives other friendly rebel units a +1/+1. Chewbacca playing out another restore arc, just to give it Sentinel, kind of protecting the space field. It's actually one of the reasons why I personally like Chewbacca, just being able to kind of spam out the smaller units to keep certain areas protected when your opponent has more units on one side than the other. And we got a deploy of Sabine, very nice. And a fleet lieutenant comes out, and we're doing 5 damage to Sabine. I had to go back over the audio a couple times for this one just to double check, because there's about to be an interesting misplay here. Sabine is a Mandalorian, a rebel, and a Spectre. General Dodonna gives all rebels a +1/+1. So technically Sabine is a 3/6 on the board. What had occurred here was that the Chewbacca player was just said 5 damage to Sabine, and the Sabine player went, okay, cool, and put it down. Neither one of them caught it in the moment. So here we have a swing into Restore Arc. It looks an unnecessary play, yeah, because I think it gives that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think it gives one unit +1 and another unit a +1 or +2. But yeah, didn't really need it for that one. So we're going into the next phase, and it looks like Chewbacca does have the initiative now. The Chewbacca player, both players have 6 resources now. Looks like we're paying 6 straight up for Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's a thing. That's good. Sitting on the board, protecting R2, protecting Fleet Lieutenant. We have a Fleet Lieutenant into the space area, swinging into Chewbacca's base, bringing up the total to 5 to 9 damage. Fleet Lieutenant swinging into General Dodonna. Just getting some damage out there. And a Fleet Lieutenant trade here as well. Just getting rid of Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan will give experience tokens to R2-D2, making this a very beefy R2-D2. I think with only 2 damage on it, R2-D2 is a 5/9, so 5/7. And we're swinging 5 points of damage into the base here. It looks like they're keeping that card on top of the deck. And it looks like that was a claim onto the Sabine side. Going into the next step, we are sitting at 7 resources, which means Chewbacca will be hitting the board possibly this phase. It just depends on what is being played on Sabine's side. With damage sitting at 10 to 9, we do have 5 on Chewbacca. We have, it's about 8 damage here. Yeah, it's the same card from earlier that we were going to play. We held off on. So we're swinging 8 direct damage into Chewbacca's base, Tarkin Town, putting it up to 10 to 17. Keep in mind, both these bases are 25 health point bases, so it's getting close to that point where it's almost game. R2-D2 swings, bring up to 15 to 17. And now we're only 10 points and 8 points away from defeat for either side. Hitting the board, freedom for fighters, Saboteur, which gets rid of a Sentinel. or it kind of bypasses it. But when you play another red card, you may deal 1 damage to a base. Kind of nice. Chewbacca is deployed here. Like I said earlier, it's Grit. It's a 2/9. It's Sentinel, which doesn't really matter for Freedoms for Fighters, but Sabine hitting the board as a follow-up, which will deal 1 damage, and I think they'll catch that in a second. Luke hitting the board, getting a -3/-3 to the Fighters for Freedom. Fighters for Freedom. There we go. And I think that's going to be a claim on Sabine's side. I think just waiting for the call. There's some card in their hand they were dancing around. Yeah, so there's a claim there. Chewbacca swinging into Freedom Fighter, which will take that one out because of Luke giving a -3/-3 for the phase, brings it down to below 0. Going to the next phase, both players sitting at 8 resources. And depending on what's in these hands, I mean, there is a Sentinel on Chewbacca's side, so they had to get past. They had to get past Chewbacca for starters. It's like paying 4, paying 3 for a red 3 here, which has raid 1 and gives every other friendly unit raid 1 as well. Which actually isn't bad. This will buff up. Only to no friendly alliance units. This will, yeah, this could be interesting. Luke swinging the base, bring up to 21 with a restore 3, bring down to 15. And we're buffing up the, looks like 2 of our units, swinging straight into Chewbacca here. Keep in mind, so this is interesting. I think Chewbacca should be out. I'm going to double check a few cards in a second. Though it doesn't matter with R2-D2 still being able to attack. But that is today's matchup. Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.